What's poppin', friends and fam? Are you excited? I know. Oh, are you excited? I know I am. Welcome back to another episode of iCraft SMP with your host, LUUKZILLA. Alright guys, so in the last episode, we made that new shop. We talked to XB. We didn't talk to him yet. We made XB's horse stable. Well, we didn't make it. We showed it off. But, you know, all that good stuff. So, let's go take a look at this shop real quick. I just kind of, took off the little name thing. It doesn't need a name. It's my shop. It's got my banner on it. That's all it needs. So I added obsidian to this shop. It's a little bit more expensive than I had my other shop, but then again, half a stack for 1 diamond. That's pretty cheap. So I just made it 24 for 1 diamond instead. But you know, it's still a pretty good deal. You know, 24 for 1 diamond. You don't got to go out and mine it because obsidian is a pain. And the booty, we actually did sell some cobwebs. I already collected it. We got 4 diamonds out of it, so that's nice. Our diamond stack is piling up, and it's really nice. So for today's episode, what I'm going to do is something a little bit different. So let's go to an area of my base. There's a mushroom running around. Bill might survived a little rescue mission and captured some of those and some mycelium for Jess. Check it out in his episode. It was really cool. I enjoyed watching it. Alright, so if we go up to here, you'll see an area of the base where we don't really have much done yet, but I did make something for this episode. So here it is. So this is, let me turn around. This is my throne. You know, I put it in like a little box so it's all safe from the weather and all that. And yeah, this is my throne. We just come up here and take a seat. And when I'm on my throne, obviously I need to put on my crown, LUUKZILLA's crown with blast protection on it, because that's the enchant that I got for 1 level enchant. But you know, whatever. So guys, I have a story for you, a story written for me by our dear friend Linz. So let's tell a story. The Princess and the Monster, a children's book. LUUKZILLA sighed as he looked at her, walking away from him. He glanced down at his green arm, and then at his normal human arm. Why doesn't anyone like something that is different from what they already know? LUUKZILLA knew he was a good man, even if he was half monster. His heart, he knew, was good, and his heart was ready to love someone. But no one is ready to love me, he said to himself softly, kicking some loose glowstone dust on the ground. I'm surrounded by riches that I've collected from this world. I'm the king of my domain. Where is my queen? LUUKZILLA had no trouble loving himself. He thought it was, well, kinda cool that he was different. His green, monstrous arm was strong enough to crush stone, but apparently not strong enough to sweep a special lady off her feet. Over time, he began to lose hope. He hid himself away in his tower and stopped believing that anyone would ever love him. And as he grew older in his tower, he became a legend, a story people would tell around campfires at night. Have you seen the man that lives in the tower on the hill? They asked each other. I've never laid eyes on him, but I tell you the townsfolk here say he's half monster. So LUUKZILLA grew sad and lonely. One day, a lovely young woman was traveling past LUUKZILLA's beautiful home. She looked up at the massive tower, and her breath was swept away. What a lovely tower! And what work someone must have put into it! I must meet the owner! And so she started up the hill. No one was around to warn her of the man who dwelled there. No one told her stories of him smashing rocks or moving mountains with his giant monster arm. She went straight to the door and knocked. LUUKZILLA looked up from his meal of chicken and chicken. A knock? That hadn't happened in years. He nearly went back to his meal, thinking himself insane, when he heard it again, and louder. He crept to the entrance and peeked out the window, and standing outside was the most lovely woman he had ever seen. For a moment, he couldn't move at all. Then he went to the door, bracing himself for her reaction. As the door swung open, he placed his human arm in front of him, trying to hide the muscular green arm from her sight. She began to talk immediately. Hi, do you live here? Did you build this? Is this real quartz? Did you collect it yourself? It's so beautiful. May I see inside? LUUKZILLA choked on his response and simply nodded. Oh, it's grand. She turned to him and finally saw his arm. She gasped out loud, and LUUKZILLA felt a great deal of shame. He hung his head and said softly, "You may run if you feel must, but I would never hurt such a creature as beautiful as you." The young woman, silent for a moment, and then said, "Run? Sir, why would I run? That is the coolest arm I've ever seen. And your leg, too?" With a new flurry of excitement, she began rapidly asking questions. "What happened? Were you born like this? Was it an accident? Is it super strong? It looks super strong. Here, lift me up." And with that, she ran into LUUKZILLA's arm, and he lifted her right off the ground with ease. He spun her around, and she laughed until she could hardly catch her breath. And in that moment, with the sun shining through the window, reflected in her eyes, with the laughter echoing in his ears, he knew right then and there that he loved her. He silently gave thanks to his lord, Matt Damon, for making all those girls walk away. He looked up into the beautiful girl's eyes as he continued to hold her in the air, and she looked down at him, and they both knew they'd be together forever. The end. Alright guys, I hope you liked that little read-along that we had there. It's such a touching tale, you know? Oh gosh, it's great. I really appreciate that Linz made this. I love it. It's so good. Linz has a bookstore in town. It's off that direction. I won't be able to see it from my base. Well, I can... Here, look. You can kind of see the little billboard, the thing that I made for her. It's right there behind that. So yeah, she has that bookstore, so she made a couple books for some people. I think I have one, Beaver has one, Zero has one. There might be others, but yeah. So this is a new area of my base that I want to start building some stuff in. Like, for instance, I have this throne now. I might want to make like a little entrance into the mountain there, and maybe another little entrance thing down here off of the road, kind of like going into this mountain. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, but I'll work something out. But anyway, as for now, guys, I'm going to end off this episode. It was a different kind of episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And you know the drill. Leave the friend zone. Join the fam. Want to know how? Subscribe to my channel. Make sure to have a good night, day, morning, evening, whatever it is for you. Have a great one. And I will catch you next time.